Oh hello, I was just wondering how many trees would be saved if all printed media would disappear tomorrow and people had no choice but to start thinking for themselves rather than being misled with garbage like this, taken today from the Guardian newspaper. The development of a Tesla Gigafactory near Berlin has resulted in about 500,000 trees being felled, according to satellite analysis. Well, that's that then. Climate change has reached breaking point and it's all down to these trees being chopped down. Just when we were seeing such positive progress of transitioning the world to electric cars and sustainable energy thanks to Elon Musk and Tesla. If you don't yet know why this, and possibly every other article you read in the mainstream media, is a steaming pile of poop and lies, keep watching, all will become clear, just like the land eventually, Giga Berlin. The building of the German factory has been highly controversial and attracted significant protests, as well as prompting a debate about the trade-offs involved in developing a green economy. The perfect word there, trade-off. For example, if you are a child and you want to build a treehouse, let alone live in one for months on end in your own filth, you might need some wood. Wood which one day came from a tree that needed chopping down. Oh, the irony. As we live in a world where food production, factories and fast-paced tech are a necessity for a thriving society, the trade-off from building factories that make stuff is that a tiny speck of planet Earth has to accommodate them. The trade-off in Giga Berlin's case is cutting down, and using by the way, a pine tree plantation that was deliberately planted to harvest trees for cardboard production. I kid you not. As a trade-off, which is more important? Producing millions of electric cars a year that run on sustainable energy, displacing millions of internal combustion engine cars and all the CO2 they produce over their lifetime, moving towards a cleaner, greener, renewable energy future, or is it more important to save some trees that are destined to be cut down and used for cardboard anyway? Your answer please in the comments below, and chuck us a like if you appreciate my efforts so far. Thanks very much. Elon Musk, Tesla's owner, has criticised local police for letting off left-wing protesters. Anyone who commits arson, sets fire to a pylon for example, which consequently lost power for many homes and businesses, I'd expect a little harsher punishment than nothing. What happened to you Germans? You used to have such confidence and authority. Oh, there was that. Satellite images show 813 acres of forest were cut down at the site between March 2020 and May 2023, according to the environmental intelligence company Kairos. That's equivalent to approximately 500,000 trees. Since May, climate activists have protested against the planned expansion of the Gigafactory, occupying tree houses in a nearby camp and attempting to storm the site. One group set fire to an electricity pylon and stopped the factory's production for a few days in March. Other delightful eco-terrorist groups in Germany have vandalised property, burnt down Teslas, put people's lives in danger, all in a day's work under the guise of environmentalism. It's Tesla for now, but unless people start standing up against these idealistic, vandalising bullies, and until there are more serious consequences to causing actual damage and harm to others, they'll be coming for you next if you don't comply to their rules. Carolina, someone from the campaign alliance Turn Off Tesla's Tap, said the analysis showed the company's production of electric vehicles had caused local destruction of nature as well as global damage through mining for metals. In one of the driest regions in Germany, too much of the environment has already been destroyed, she said. An expansion and thus even more destruction of forests and endangerment of the protected drinking water area must be prevented. Tesla, weirdly, did not respond to a request for comment. That's because they don't have a PR department. If you want to actually do some work, dear Guardian and others, you'll find lots of useful information about Giga Berlin's industry-leading water consumption online. Over on Teslarati, for example, they say Tesla Giga Berlin is a huge facility and thus it was approved to use 1.8 million cubic meters of water per year. However, Tesla currently uses less than 500,000 cubic meters of water annually. A large part of this water consumption is actually just used for the sanitary facilities of Giga Berlin's 12,500 employees, who, by the way, if not were at the factory, they'd be using that amount of water elsewhere. Giga Berlin consumes far less water than other industrial plants in the area. The Janschwald power plant uses 44.9 million cubic meters of water every year, and the water recycler EEW in Premnitz uses 23 million cubic meters of water annually. Even this asparagus farm uses nearly 1.1 million cubic meters of water per year, more than twice the amount of water used by Giga Berlin to produce all those cars, not some vegetables. Tesla already uses far less water per vehicle in Giga Berlin than the Mercedes-Benz factory in the same area. Yet that factory has not attracted any protests about its consumption or possible dangers to date. Why are these protesters not outside the gates of these other facilities, I wonder? Is it because Elon Musk is a big bad billionaire? Is it because Tesla is actually building the products for a better future, whereas these protesters can barely build a treehouse? Might they have been deliberately brainwashed and financially supported by nefarious forces, such as the oil industry or traditional car companies? No, that would never happen, would it? Yeah, but would it though? Antoine Half, the chief analyst at Kairos, said, "The Tesla factory in Germany has led to quite a bit of cutting down of trees." Nicely put. Of course, it has to be put into perspective against the benefit of replacing internal combustion engine cars with electric vehicles. Some common sense, bravo! Half said the lost trees were equivalent to about 13,000 tonnes of CO2, the annual amount emitted by 2,800 average internal combustion engine cars in the US. So that's a fraction of the number of the electric cars that Tesla produces and sells every quarter, he says. You always have trade-offs, so you need to be aware of what the terms of the trade-offs are. As pointed out in the past, if you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. In July, a plan to expand the Tesla plant to double production to 1 million cars a year was approved by Brandenburg State Environment Ministry. Fancy that, people who work and understand the state of Brandenburg do not see an issue with what Tesla are doing. Perhaps when sensibly weighing up the enormous amount of job creation, the productivity and financial reward Tesla brings to the area. Dozens of environmental incidents have been reported at the site, where millions of battery cells are also produced, including leaks or spills of diesel fuel, paint and aluminium, or aluminum for my American friends, but without any evidence could be anything from a drip of diesel to a fleck of paint. I highly doubt that Tesla are causing quite as much damage as the oil companies that prop up, the internal combustion engine businesses. Tesla did not respond at the time, but later said they had several incidents on the factory site during construction and since the start of operations. It said none caused environmental damage and that if necessary corrective measures would be implemented. But don't let that get in the way of what protesters might imagine happening in Tesla factories. Kairos said its deforestation detection tool was being developed to help companies comply with EU deforestation regulations, which from the start of 2025 will ban the import of goods linked to forest destruction. The tool could be used to independently monitor forests being used as carbon offsets in the voluntary carbon market, the company said. Great. I'm glad that deforestation around the world is being monitored, taken seriously, and that companies are being held accountable for offsetting their carbon capture, for example. But prior to Tesla acquiring the property, the area known as Giga Berlin was not an ancient woodland, but rather a monoculture tree plantation. The sole purpose of this plantation was to harvest trees for cardboard production, indicating a lack of biodiversity and a specific industrial intent for the land. Why is this not immediately addressed in these articles? Legally, Tesla is supposed to plant 1 tree for each it cuts down. However, they are planting 3 for each tree they fell. Tesla has already planted 1 million trees in 2024 alone. Are these facts getting in the way of yet another hit piece, idiotic brainwash attempt of the general public against Tesla, and by extension Elon Musk? You tell me. The trees being replanted are oak and beech trees that actually capture more carbon compared to these pine trees. Tesla are going well out of their way to ensure they do the right thing here, certainly when compared to other companies, that is. For example, Porsche's expansion of its test track in Italy involves the clearing of a forest, including hundreds of years old oaks, which has sparked environmental concerns and protests. It's quite frankly insane, disturbing in fact, that these paid activists, plain right idiots, who are protesting Giga Berlin are doing so with the utmost of ignorance, stupidity and dim-witted arguments that should make a monkey blush. Tesla is one of, if not the greenest companies on the planet. A company that is on a mission to improve our world by harnessing renewable energy, using that clean energy to run our cars, homes and businesses. Yet here we are, hysterical eco-warriors who are literally rebels without a legitimate cause, hand in hand with mainstream media, all repeating the same trash headlines and articles written by biased activist sympathisers who don't give a monkeys about journalism, let alone the truth. Why does mainstream media hate Elon Musk and Tesla? Because X is destroying their propaganda businesses. It's as simple as that. If you want to suffer more by learning about these eco-terrorists and their previous attack on Giga Berlin, click this next. But if you need a break from the stupidity, how about this one? Chinese EVs are taking on Tesla Model Y, but are they as good? Check it out next. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you Patreons, thank you for watching. Bye for now.